Hey everybody, how you doing? Audiohead here. Today we have a headphone amplifier from Woo, and it is a doozy. This is actually the WA7D with the separate power supply that's new, the WA7TP. This one, the labeling is actually so new that they didn't have the D added yet, so it just says WA7, but this is the WA7D model. The D stands for duo in this case, for dual digital inputs. We'll get a little bit into that later. However, I just want to show you guys a shot of the front here. You can see that it's very similar in design in that they both have the same kind of round button. However, if you look at it, this button here is actually for power. You push in. The rotation doesn't have any particular form function for this unit, but you push it in and push it out, and that turns the power on for both of these simultaneously. And this is your triple. Good turn on this knob, by the way. I know it's a small thing, but there's a nice resistance to it that makes it feel kind of top end, so I really do enjoy that. These are two solid blocks of glass that just rest on here. Ugh, they are heavy. This is a solid block of glass, and actually kind of gives the unit a lot of weight. But it is just a free piece of glass that sits on there. Tubes can come in and out for those who like to roll. But it's like a nice, weighty, solid piece of machinery, like everything else that Woo makes. So he did a really good job, I think, from a design element here. Just kind of looking at it all together, I think they look very beautiful. Very elegant piece. You know, it could be a talking point for someone comes over to your house and sees it. It's excellent. The other thing that I'd like to point out is he has two jacks here, but this one here is actually intended for in-ear monitors, favorite of the audiophile crowd. And I have to say, he did us all a really good service by adding it on that way. It's not just for your run-of-the-mill headphones, although it will work. When you plug a pair of in-ear monitors, the noise floor is the lowest I've ever heard with a tube full-size amplifier. Because there's usually buzz, there's crackle. You could hear the tubes through in-ear monitors because they're so sensitive. Not the case with this. If you're looking for a little more versatility, that little jack adds it in a very big way. Very good job by kind of adding that diversity, but still pointed directly at the audiophile crowd. Nicely done. So overall, this is generally going to be used as a full-size headphone amplifier. Sonically, this amplifier falls in line with a lot of other Woo products. It's a tube amplifier, but isn't necessarily overly tubey. It has a nice, almost solid, like-ish tone to it that I find really nice. Clarity, a little bit of warmth, but not too much. Now, the stock tubes that are installed on this one that will come with, I found they have a nice frequency curve, not too much blowing, but they have a little bit of kick around the bass drum, so you might feel a little bit of a boost right there. But it varies from, I'm sure, tube to tube sometimes, but swapping out tubes does make a difference in the frequency response. But the stock ones that I have, that I listen to this one critically, are very nice. Nice punch in the bass. So the frequency curve is pretty much as flat as the rest of my solid state stuff, with just a little extra punch in that bass. So I actually think that some people might find that quite enjoyable. Overall, tonal structure, tonal density, the texture, the detail, the extension is very good on both sides. So if you're into a tube-type sound, but don't want to go too far, because the problem that you run into with some tube amps is that they're just really tubey and they get a little loose in the bass and they lose a little bit of focus because there's so much tube action going on. That is not the case with this amp. Very nice. So you can see from the back of this unit that there is a high and low gain to it, which is nice for the harder driven phones. I prefer to listen on the low gain. I think it's a little bit more suitable for most headphones, and then just turn the volume up louder if possible. I really only resort to the high gain if it's a very, very hard to drive headphone. This is the power supply section where this connects right to here. So these two are joined. That's the power supply from the separate PSU unit here. On and off switch, USB input. This is an input, so if you want to use this as an use your own DAC or another source, be it a vinyl or whatever turntable from your phono stage, you can use this as an external amp without the DAC section, which is nice. Here's the addition of the optical input, so you have two duo. That's what makes it the duo, the USB and the optical here. And here's the switch to switch between those three inputs. Now, this does differ from the regular WA7 in that on the WA7 there's no optical, and this position here is actually reverses this, so you could use the USB DAC section as an out external DAC. So the DAC into here comes out to another amplifier if you want. I don't think it's a big sacrifice with this one. I don't know why you would spend this much money on the head amp and not use it. So I think that this setup is just fine. More inputs into the DAC. You know, the design here is just an elegant kind of desktop piece. So it's not too bad. I think that the three inputs in this is a very suitable use for the way it's intended to kind of be used. So the price on the original WA7 was just a couple bucks shy of $1,000, and with this update, the price is now just a couple bucks shy of $1,200. If you want the separate PSU, the WA7 TP here on the right, that'll run you an extra $400. So that's kind of how the price breakout is, but it is, you know, it's a very, very nice unit overall. Good sound, good texture, great design, nice weight, nice heft, nice build. Just kind of a nice, elegant piece. Would make a great addition to just about anybody's desktop. You know, a nice kind of talking piece. The tubes light up pretty. It looks beautiful. It sounds good. So very nice execution by Jack Wu over there at Wu Audio. Much thanks to those guys for sending it out for review. We appreciate all their support. And until next time, guys, have a great one.